Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back. It's Jordan. You know what? It's Sunday. And I slept in today. Felt pretty good. Mrs. Bricksie didn't though. So I feel bad. That wasn't good. But I was at the studio yesterday. I got here, whatever, pretty early in the morning, and then prepared for the Whatnot stream that I did yesterday, which was Saturday, and took care of that. And then proceeded to go home after because we actually had a family dinner. My father-in-law, he was sick for like Christmas and all that, and we were just getting over sickness, our whole house was, and I had like no voice for a long time, so I was like, yeah, we probably don't want to get sick again. So then we had like our Christmas dinner yesterday, although it wasn't really a Christmas dinner. We ordered pho, and we had like these delicious bowls that were not festive at all. But hey, it was a good evening. But that's all I got done yesterday was the Whatnot stream, and then I started, believe it or not, ripping apart part of the zoo. In my most recent zoo update, I was working on it with Mrs. Bricksie, and we were doing the elephant enclosure and also the lion enclosure. And then we went to the Star Wars concert after that, where there was like a live orchestra. It was really cool. So like all the orchestra music was being played live by like a symphony with, I don't know, probably 100 musicians. So that was pretty cool. But then the next day was the day that I took care of that Whatnot stream. And then I slept on the zoo. Like I always like sleep on things. I didn't actually like sleep on it, but I was thinking about it, and I thought about it all day yesterday, and a lot of it is going to be redesigned and improved. I've actually already started ripping apart the bird aviary, and I'm going to improve that. But I started doing that yesterday before leaving, and I was like, oh no, I'm going to be late, so I left. And this is the state that I left it in. So what I started doing was just ripping off the top layer of plate, brick, and tile, and that's what held it all together. So now you can see all the different components are loose, like a youngster's teeth, ready to be yanked out. So I'm pulling those out, and then I'm rebuilding them part by part. And I'm putting the arches in the wall so that we can have vegetation popping off the sidewall. And I'm going to do it here as well. And then maybe this vegetation can merge with the vegetation up here. And we can create a very dense, thick canopy going over top of this ridge. And in this little dugout that I created for the lions, and I can have the vegetation sort of covering it all, so it's like an area where they can go hide. Now the lion enclosure has a lot of open space, and I wasn't sure what to do with this, so I just laid down a bunch of tan plate. I think it looks too tan, and some of this looks a little bit too blocky, just because we're going up such a vertical space. To get rid of that blocky effect, I could get rid of all of the rock panels in there, and I could just build it using slopes, but it's going to use like an entire drawer of slopes for this small section. Like I definitely know how to do it. We could stagger the 2 tall slopes, the 4 tall slopes, the 1 tall slopes, along with the inverted slopes, and we could just straight up slope build this. That might be pretty cool. But what I was thinking I was going to do actually was blow out this rock work here, like get rid of all these slopes, and then build it out like this. So we have like a rock platform that's this tall, and then the lions can jump up on the platform, and they have like the high ground here, and then they can jump up here and jump up here and jump up here, and then you got the vegetation canopy coming over top. So if I can just get a little bit more elevation built in here, I think it's going to look a lot better, and it's also going to fill in this open space that we have. So I'll definitely be doing that. There is one other section of zoo that would go right here. That's just like right here by this curved area. But I think if we get more elevation built into that line enclosure, I think it's going to look a lot better. And then it's also going to give me more vertical space coming out this, or horizontal space coming out this way, so I can make this slope a little more gradual and maybe have another ridge for the lions here. So they'll have like the lower platform, then they'll have this ridge up here, then they'll have this ridge up here, then they'll have this area to go into, and once again, this will all be like a canopy of vegetation. So I think that's how I'm going to change up the lion enclosure. That involves pretty much ripping apart all this rock work and starting from scratch back here, but I'm okay with that. Build, destroy, repeat, right? And then for the elephants, someone did say that, hey, your elephant enclosure looks like it's not right. It should be more so the savanna, like African elephant. But let's just say that this is an Asian elephant. Now I do like it, but it is a little bit small. And I think the way that I can grow it is actually put a large cave entrance here. So rip apart more rock work, and I can have this cave entrance, probably 2 of those rock panels tall, and then like frame it using inverted slopes and regular slopes. And then we can create a scene in here, or like a large cave for the elephants. That would involve framing this whole back area with whatever it may be, dark bluish gray, light bluish gray brick. But I think it would be worth it if we had like a big spot here for the elephants where they can just go chill underneath the mountain. So if they don't want to be on display for the public to see, well, then there you go. They can just go hide out underneath the mountain. So I'll probably make that change. But yeah, I guess with the green habitat here, this is more so an Asian elephant, not an African elephant. Now these guys are running out of space a little bit here, so I'll probably merge the ostriches and the giraffe and the camel together in one big enclosure maybe. Maybe they can have like this whole corner, and that can be like a shared area for all of them, because then it's not going to be subdivided so much. I would like to make this like a safari, because I know zoos are sort of animal, like cruel to animals, unfortunately. I'm not really, I mean, I do promote zoos. I go to zoos here with my kids in town. I do build LEGO zoos. I do enjoy going to the zoo, but I do understand that it is animal cruelty. But let's just say that these are all rescue animals. I know it's sort of a sticky situation because some people don't want me to build a zoo because of that. But I have fun just with the concept of it. I don't think me building a LEGO zoo or me not building a LEGO zoo is going to stop zoos from happening in this world, unfortunately. So my LEGO city is probably going to continue to have a zoo. It's either that or I scrap the whole thing. But I don't think I'm going to scrap the whole thing just because I like the direction that it's heading. Now, in regards to the aviary, I want to not only rebuild these here so we can blend that vegetation in on this side, and also have some different like snow-covered vegetation that's going to match the feel of this over here. But I also want to angle this roof. I actually already took some of the lift arms off the roof, and these lift arms were actually causing it to flex a little bit because the math wasn't perfect, so the roof was flexing a tiny bit. But what I'm going to do is actually have it so it's angled. So what I have to do is build this up gradually, and then build a catch for it on the back rocks. And then this roof is going to be angled. And then I'm going to put some vents coming off the side and some vents coming off that side as well. And I think rather than having this big square box, it's going to look a lot better just because it'll have that pitched roof. So I think that'll be worth it. But it just takes time because I've got to rebuild all these walls with the arches coming off the other side. And then I'm going to have to rebuild all of this rock work here and redo all that. And then also redo all that rock work for the cave for the elephants. But I think it'll be worth it in the end. And that's sort of where I'm at on this Sunday. Now, doing all of this stuff and also shipping 59 orders for tomorrow probably isn't going to be doable. And last night when I got home after the company left and we had our faux dinner, I sort of got into like an off temperament, sort of like a low. And I think it's just because I want this stuff to be done, but I'm having trouble finding time to do it. And I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I can never get enough done in the day. And I think one of the reasons why I feel that way is because I'm such a weirdo, and I upload every day. And I've talked about it in the past, about changing my upload structure on Bricksie. I talked about it years ago, and then 2 years ago, and then 1 year ago, and here I am talking about it again today. And I think my upload structure and the dynamic of the Bricksie social media and YouTube channel and sales platforms is going to be changing, just because like I didn't, like yesterday when we had this family dinner, I didn't even want to go because I wanted to get this done so I could have a video going out today. So that's just not right. But then when I got there, I obviously had a good time, and we hung out and stuff. And then after the dinner, I was like, it was like 8 o'clock at night, and I was like, Jose, I'm driving back to the studio. I'm gonna go get this done. And she's like, do whatever you want. Like, do whatever you want. Like, go for it. And I was like, I'm gonna go drive back to the studio, and I'm gonna go get that done. And then I was like, that's crazy. I'm not gonna do that. That's insane. Like, what do you mean? I was even contemplating, I'm just gonna work until like midnight, sleep at the studio, and wake up here. And I was like, that is insane. You can't do that. Like, you can't do that, man. So I didn't do it, thankfully. And then I slept in this morning like a buffoon, and now here we are. But I think I'm gonna relieve a little bit of the pressure that I put on myself in Q1, Q2 here of 2025. And I think some of this pressure is going to be, that I'm going to relieve is in relation to like the intense upload schedule that I have tried to maintain for the last 4 years. And I think we're going to only upload on the Bricksie YouTube channel 4 or 5 times a week, not 7. And then maybe we'll upload on this channel once or twice. It might even be like 3 on Bricksie, once or twice on this one. And then I'm going to continue doing those like whatnot live streams, probably 2 or 3 times a month. But I've put too much pressure on myself as of late. And that in conjunction with the kids has become a little bit overwhelming. The kids are at like an overwhelming stage right now where they're like, yeah, just got a lot of energy, man. And we're trying to like potty train them and stuff, and they've got a lot of energy. It's crazy. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do with the zoo today. And I'm pretty sure the upload schedule on Bricksie is going to change. I've been listening to this book. It's called what's it called again? And it's been an awakening for me. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I would highly recommend listening to it. And it's a crazy book by Joe Dispenza. It is an insane book, and it is really like spoken to me, if you will, and made me realize that I need to make, although I live a really cool life, I need to try and make some changes to what I do and how I spend every day of my life. I just need to change it a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to get shipping and get working on the zoo.